Reigniting a nation for greatness as we make Jamaica crisp and clean. You know the drill. It's Labor Day and we have highlights of activities from across the island. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. The country is in the throes of a fifth wave of COVID-19 infections and we want to keep you and your family safe. Please practice personal responsibility. Wear a mask when you're out in public. Wash or sanitize your hands frequently and continue to social distance. Also, if you haven't been vaccinated or gotten your booster dose, book an appointment ASAP. Our program continues with a word of advice, followed by the news. Stay with us.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh. Welcome to our special Labor Day news coverage. Make Jamaica crisp and clean is the focus of this year's Labor Day activities, which are being executed in keeping with the theme, Reigniting a Nation for Greatness, Protect Our Heritage and Environment. It's the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic that Jamaicans have been summoned into their communities to important institutions and landmarks to again embrace the spirit of volunteerism and labor in support of national development. The JIS team has been in the field since early this morning, capturing projects right across the island. Our coverage of the main activities began at the National Heroes Park for the annual floral tribute in honor of national hero Sam Sharp, the main instigator of the 1831 Slave Rebellion.
Right Excellent Samuel Sharp, national hero, stands tall among our Jamaican historic figures, not only for the role he played in negotiating for better working conditions for the Jamaican enslaved population, but also for his leadership of the war on slavery that led to slavery's end. In this year, when we celebrate Jamaica 60, or Diamond Jubilee, it must not be lost on us that this self-sacrifice by Sam Sharp and his mantra of shared destiny and collective action lie at the very root of the independence movement that we celebrate so proudly this year.
A second floral tribute was held simultaneously at Sam Sharp Square in Montego Bay. The highlight of Labor Day 2022 is the renovation of Mandela Park. Prime Minister Andrew Holness led the charge at the National Labor Day project, where opposition leader Mark Golding and many others participated. We now join Shernette Bird, who has been on location since early this morning.
Thank you, Stephen. It was all hands on deck as scores of volunteers from the public and private sectors as well as civil society converged on Mandela Park in the heart of Halfway Tree to fix up, clean up and crisp up the place. Prime Minister Andrew Holness led Labor Day activities at the National Project, which involved giving the park a facelift and making the space disabled-enabled.
It's a plus for us because we believe in access and equal for all persons, despite this disability or not. So we're happy to on board here, putting a new ramp as you can see. So it's a good look for a person like myself and others have better access where they are in the Mandela Park Halfway Tree area.
We're encouraging creative people to use the spaces that are available. We're encouraging persons to come and just relax, use the park. I'm saying to the vendors around the park and to the taxi men, you must protect and care this park. We have made sure the sanitary facilities are vastly improved. So we're asking you to use them, not the park.
We're going to do some temporary improvements and repairs, but it won't be substantial. The truth is that we have to be thinking about how we reconfigure this urban space of Halfway Tree. Certainly for the improvement of traffic, the efficiency of movement for pedestrians, and to improve accessibility of business places, and to improve the streetscape, and just to improve the general urban space. The park where it is not necessarily in the best location. And in the reconfiguration, we may have to think about a relocation of the park.
Though Labor Day officially ends today, Works will continue throughout the year in which we celebrate our Diamond Jubilee, 60 years of independence. Reporting for JIS News, I'm Shernette Bird.
After helping to redevelop Mandela Park, the Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition also brought the spirit of Labor Day into their constituencies. Shaquille Hines has those reports.
Labor Day activities were well underway over in Prime Minister Andrew Holness's East Rural St. Andrew constituency from early this morning. Community members came out in their numbers and were engaged in several cleaning up activities and renovation exercises. 4 schools, the Civic Center, pedestrian crossings and roadways in the area received attention.
But for Labor Day in West Central St. Andrew, we're going to focus mainly on the road network here in terms of the painting of the roads, the signage, and we are going to be putting up a retaining rail on a bridge and replace some drain covers. And I believe we might also be doing some housing improvements for some residential premises.
Leader of Opposition Mark Golden also put in work in his South St. Andrew constituency, where he led community members in the renovation of several parks and schools.
It's mainly cleaning up operations going on, and work will have to continue after today as well. But this is one of the projects we're doing. There's also a wall being fixed which had collapsed over by the Trenchtown Polytechnic and Trenchtown Primary School. And that work is going on today and involves some voluntary contributions from private citizens in the community as well. So we're very pleased about that. And there are some other projects around the place as well at various basic schools and so on.
Some of the residents engaged in today's Labor Day activities at the Polytechnic College in the area will be offered on-the-job certification through a partnership with the college and Heart Trust NTA. With the Labor Day wrap from the constituencies of the Prime Minister and the Leader of Opposition, I'm Shaquille Hines.
Staying in the corporate area, we now join Katie Aloy Knight, who was in the municipality that is now under consideration for becoming Jamaica's 15th parish.
Thank you, Stephen. The municipality of Portmore started the construction of a disabled-friendly sidewalk leading up to Portmore Mall. This is to ensure the safety of the pedestrians and the disabled persons within the Portmore community. Work started on Monday of this week and kicked into high gear today. The Portmore Municipal Council, Kiwanis Clubites, and the residents came out in their numbers to support the cause with the help of sponsors.
We have a lot of physical challenged people from the community of Portsmouth, Waterford, Passageford, and all those communities. And we get complaints from time to time about the situation with the motorists. So we are now building the sidewalk.
We are just here to ensure that what is set out today in getting this sidewalk done is accomplished.
The mission is to make Jamaica crisp and clean. One of the residents that joined in the mission had something to share.
I'm here volunteering because of my community, and it will benefit the disabled and other persons.
The council hopes to complete the work by August in time for Independence Day.
Jamaicans have been laboring all across the island. In St. Thomas, the municipal corporation decided on a parish project that would benefit vulnerable groups such as the registered poor, homeless, abandoned elderly, and persons with slight mental challenges. Simone Reed-Hilton is in Morant Bay with that report.
It is a small turnout here at the Morant Bay Infirmary, but the crew is quite capable of carrying out the work that is assigned to this project. It includes grooming of the grounds and also painting of the male and the female wards. There's also a little washing going on, washing down of the grounds as well. And with me is acting matron of the facility, Antoinette Forrester. Just share with me briefly how you feel about what's happening here today.
As you know, it's been 2 years since anybody visits the infirmary, and we're very happy that we're getting the help today.
Let me bring in Miss Claudia Carter. So I know what's happening here at the Morant Bay Infirmary is not the only project going on for the parish. Talk to me about some of the other projects that are taking place here on Labor Day.
Okay, so some of the other projects include work that is going on at the Princess Margaret Hospital. There is also the primary school in White Horses that is being painted and the grounds are being dealt with. Here at the infirmary, we have a number of things that we have in train. Some of them have started, some have not. We intend to look at the passage, the road that leads into the infirmary. We are going to be doing that in the coming week. We are also cleaning the drains at the back of the infirmary. And the grounds are being cut, and we are doing the raking and so forth.
All right, so there you have it, a roundup of what's happening in the parish of St. Thomas. I'm Simone Hilton reporting for GIS News.
Thanks, Simone. Over in St. Elizabeth, the municipal corporation began work to construct a public bathroom facility in the town of Junction. Leading the team of volunteers was Sitani Holness, councillor for the Junction Division. In St. James, scores of government and corporate volunteers turned out to give the Charles Gordon Market in Montego Bay a facelift at an estimated cost of $1 million.
The reality is that the Charles Gordon Market and the Market District is one of the most important areas within the municipality. It is a catalyst of health and food distribution point. So we want to ensure that this area is sanitized, it is cleansed, and where necessary we have to clean up the area and fix up the different sections of the market facility itself.
The volunteers who partnered with the St. James Municipal Corporation joined efforts to wash and repaint the main market building, along with repainting the car park and carrying out general cleanup of the market area. The spirit of volunteerism was also alive and well in Little London, Westmoreland, as teachers and students joined a large group of volunteers in erecting a much-needed bus stop for the nearby high school.
Normally we have to put the students on the right side, orientate them like that, have them walking on the sidewalk that is established for that purpose. And they would have been ushered straight to the square. So they have to walk 1 mile down the road to get access to transportation. What the principal has done in recent times is to utilize the school bus at best to transport the students. So instead of walking to the square, the bus is made available to commute them. So this bus stop, those who are going shorter journey, they will have access to it. So it's something that was needed.
From as early as 7:30 a.m., students of Little London High School and others were out in their numbers to complete the work that had started the day before. The education sector was also the focus of activities in Hanover. With Cancun Primary School identified for attention, the National Water Commission, sponsors and volunteers labored to improve the water supply system, paint and plant flowers at the institution. In Trelawney, work involved the beautification, painting, washing down, and sanitizing of the municipal building, water square, and pedestrianized areas of Falmouth.
We are making sure that the municipal building is clean and spick and span, and we are making sure that the town too will also be clean, getting out of the garbage. We are whitewashing and painting some areas, and then we will be moving on from there to maintain this cleanliness, because you will be seeing some actions too, where we'll be removing some of the sellers within the square to make sure that they abide in the place where they are, because once we set the order today, we want that to continue.
And that's it for this special JIS Labor Day newscast. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness led the National Labor Day project at Mandela Park. We now hear his Labor Day message for Jamaicans.
Our workers are the backbone of our country. They keep the wheels of our economy turning. We know that our continued economic recovery is dependent on our people. And we are committed to preserving the hard-won rights and liberties of the Jamaican worker, to include proper wages and working conditions. The government is actively pursuing ways to increase workers' benefits. For example, we are examining the feasibility of implementing unemployment insurance in Jamaica to assist workers who become unemployed through no fault of their own. This would temporarily provide workers with partial income relief while they search for new employment. Additionally, unemployment insurance support would facilitate the acquisition of new skills to increase and improve their employability. Of course, the most important role of the government for workers is to ensure that the economy is growing and generating employment. Jamaica is recovering from the fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. The economy is growing and more jobs have been created. Jamaica's unemployment rate of 6.2% in January 2022 is the lowest ever recorded in Jamaica's history. In spite of turbulent times, Jamaica is heading in the right direction. This shows the strength of our macroeconomy and the resilience of our labor force. However, this recovery is still a work in progress. The impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and now the war in Ukraine have unleashed the greatest wave of global inflation seen in over 40 years. Import prices of fuel and food are rising in all countries around the world at the same time. While we all know that this inflation has causes outside of Jamaica, it still does not make it easy for the average household to absorb. These external shocks are occurring against the background of Jamaica's long fiscal adjustment, which was secured by the sacrifice of the workers, which resulted in a rehabilitation of our economy, but had real impacts on public sector salaries. In addition, there are many instances where the structure of the public sector compensation is unfair and inequitable. This is so in central government as well as in public bodies. The inequities in the structure of public sector compensation are not new and did not arise overnight. Decades of tinkering with compensation systems without solving fundamental issues are contributing factors. However, this government, your government, has decided to take on this decades-old problem because we care about our workers and we recognize that the current structure is untenable. This government, your government, working in partnership with public sector unions, made the decision for us all to engage in the hard work of addressing the structural inequities in public sector compensation through a major public sector compensation restructuring exercise. The restructuring exercise is designed to remove inequities, make compensation simpler and more transparent, while ensuring that Jamaica's finances remain sustainable. We recognize that it will not be an easy process. There is pent-up anger, mistrust from broken promises, and contentious issues to grapple with. However, rest assured, your government is listening. As a nation, our industrial relations has matured significantly since 1938. The government recognizes the significant social and civic capital in our labor movement, and we are confident that together, labor and government can cooperate to usher in the most significant institutional reform of public sector compensation in Jamaica's history, and further, to see to the improvement in standard of living and wages generally in the economy. We recognize too the importance of utilizing the systems and mechanisms in place to resolve industrial disputes to ensure our economy remains stable so we can be better equipped to respond to the needs of our valued labor force. We banded together to get through the worst of the pandemic. Let us remain united as we emerge into a period where Jamaica is poised for economic takeoff and success. Jamaica is heading in the right direction. Together, as one family, let us sit down around the negotiation table to see how we can make everyone better off. The theme for this year's Workers' Week is Reposition Jamaica's Labor Market Post-COVID. This captures perfectly the thrust of the government, which is to place greater emphasis on our country's human resources to unlock Jamaica's true potential and to increase opportunities and shared prosperity for all. We are even more determined to achieve this as we celebrate our 60th anniversary of independence. After 2 years, this Labor Day finds us enjoying some freedom of movement and gathering. We are able to return to some level of normalcy. Our children are in school and our economy is returning to full productivity because of the collective sacrifice and cooperation of all Jamaicans, and most critically, because of the dedicated work of our frontline and essential workers, and to them, we remain deeply thankful. The freedom to be out and about this Labor Day means we can mobilize to a greater degree within our communities and across the country as we action this year's Labor Day theme, Reigniting a Nation for Greatness, Protect Our Heritage and Environment, which calls on us to make Jamaica crisp and clean. However, we must do so responsibly, especially as we are now closely monitoring the effects of a fifth wave of the pandemic. You saw me in my mask earlier. I will be participating in the national project at the Mandela Park in Halfway Tree. I invite all Jamaicans to come together in your various communities and clean up, crisp up, and nice up the place. Oh, and by the way, I know many of you will be going out to parties and going to the beach. Please, 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 drive carefully. Use our roads carefully. As Jamaicans, let us tap into our resilience, creativity, and indomitable spirit, and control what we can in the face of challenges. Let us shake off the difficulties of the last 2 years and take advantage of the opportunities before us. Together, as we have shown many times in the past, we will arrive at satisfactory solutions. Jamaica needs to stay the course as we are heading in the right direction. Happy Labor Day. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless Jamaica, land we love.
Up next, the Labor Day message from the Leader of the Opposition, Mark Golding.
The struggle of the Jamaican people for equal rights and justice began centuries ago, from the onset of Africans being brought to these shores for the exploitation of their unpaid labor. But the struggle for independence from colonial rule emerged out of the widespread labor unrest of 1938. From those events of 1938, the labor movement has been at the vanguard of the struggle of the Jamaican people for a fair and just society in which the rights of all Jamaicans are respected and all our people are treated with dignity, embodying the principle articulated by the late great Dennis Brown when he sang, "Every man has an equal right to live and be free, no matter what color, class, or race he may be." It was the Right Excellent Norman Washington Manley who, as Premier of Jamaica, forging the will of the nation to move to political independence in 1961, proclaimed the National Labor Day as a national holiday to replace the Colonial Empire Day. It thereupon became the day each year on which Jamaicans commemorate the labor unrest of May 1938 and the lives which were lost in protest for better pay and working conditions. In 1972, Prime Minister Michael Manley introduced a new element to Labor Day to make it the day on which Jamaicans give back to our nation by engaging in voluntary work activities to uplift and build their communities. Since then, on the 23rd of each May every year, Jamaicans from all walks of life come together to beautify and improve their communities, displaying the true Jamaican spirit of solidarity and brotherhood. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, for the last 2 years, we were not able to undertake the Labor Day activities which we are used to, and the annual work came to a halt. Happily, as we adjust to life with COVID, we once again have the opportunity to come together in our communities, paint our schools and our pedestrian walkways, sweep the roads, clean up the beaches, plant trees, and so much more. We celebrate Labor Day this year under the theme, Make Jamaica Crisp and Clean. And I want to encourage all Jamaicans to do at least one voluntary activity in your communities today. Get involved, make a positive impact on your community, and enjoy the feeling of good vibes that flows from an honest day's voluntary work to improve your surroundings. This year, Jamaica will celebrate our 60th anniversary of political independence under the theme, Reigniting a Nation for Greatness. We can use this moment to embark on the restoration of traditional practices that contributed to the development of our nation. For example, we all remember the common phrase, cleanliness is next to godliness, and the one-time slogan, don't be a litter bug. There was a time when we were much more conscious of the importance of being mindful of our surroundings and keeping them clean and tidy. We need to get back to that mindset as our country is awash with uncollected garbage strewn on roadsides and open lots all over the place. We can do better than that. Each one of us has personal responsibility. We shouldn't leave it to others or to the government. That mindset only keeps us back from achieving our national goals. We must take personal responsibility for our surroundings, not only on Labor Day, but every day. Jamaica is a beautiful country, among the most beautiful places on this earth. Let us take pride in our surroundings and be agents of a positive change towards restoring the natural beauty of our country. This Labor Day, as we engage in activities to make Jamaica crisp and clean, whether through national projects, in our regions and parishes, or in our communities, or even in our homes, I hope that we will enjoy a productive and rewarding day for the betterment of us all. So, as you put the sweat of your brow into Labor Day, in the true Jamaican spirit, may God bless you and keep you safe.
And that's where we leave you on this Labor Day edition of Jamaica Magazine. We hope you continue to keep Jamaica crisp and clean, even after Labor Day has passed. Missed aspects of today's show? Visit our YouTube channel or our website. We're also available at your convenience through our social media pages and our mobile app. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I am Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.